Hey, welcome back to part 2 of Let's Talk About Pink's Summer Carnival Tour. In the first video we've already discussed the setlist, the stage and the sound. If you didn't see that, you might want to check that out first. In this video we're gonna take a deep dive into the show, and we're also gonna look at the performers, the band, all the crazy stuff and so much more. So let's get started.
Scream!
First of all, no matter what happens on stage, fire, explosions, dances, flying props, Pink carries the show. She delivers a top-notch performance, and at the same time she makes you feel like a friend in a way.
Are you okay?
And even more impressive, she makes it look easy, even if it is hard work. She puts in her heart, her realness, her joy and her energy, and there are not many performers out there that own a stage this naturally. The show has several highlights, too many to count even. One of my personal favorites was the high-energy dance version of What About Us? Another one, the great song I Am Here, that according to Pink even was their best rendition of the whole tour.
That was awesome. That was the best of this whole tour. I love you all so much.
Somehow it felt like she was shaking off everything that didn't go right that night and liberated herself from that anger and pressure. Another highlight was, of course, all the flying around for a So What. This is the fourth Pink tour I've seen, and even though it's not my favorite, I'll explain, don't kill me yet, it is still ranking pretty high when I think about all the concerts I've seen so far. But why isn't it my favorite though? I mean, it's summer, it's nice and warm, and she does a fantastic job, so what's wrong with me?
What the hell are you talking about?
We have already talked about the halfway dismantled stage
Close your eyes and leave it all behind.
and the pretty crappy sound at times. But as I said before, this was a pretty special concert because quite something just didn't go right. Here is an example of something that would change the course of the whole show. We are only a few minutes in here. Get the party started blasts out of the speakers. We look up, the big mouth opens, and after a quick hello, Pink dives down, rigged and secured with 2 elastic ropes on a metal device. Usually this device brings her down smoothly after the jump, as you can see here one day prior to our show at the same venue. This time though, the device seemed to be malfunctioning and left her hanging up there for a bit before getting her back on safe ground. Well, obviously something is wrong here and Pink knows it. She continues to perform, but in her head she must already be thinking like, I have to go back up there in a bit. Will it work? Is it safe? But being professional as she is, she goes through the song without any hiccups. Until the part where she normally would go up in the air again gets closer and closer. I think the crew is giving her signals, and when she is not sure what to make of them, she decides just to ask what's going on. And since that fantastic second part of the opening is now unfortunately cancelled, Pink has to improvise from now on, and she does a wonderful job in my opinion. Taking the stage, waving to the fans and taking it all not that seriously is what makes her such a down-to-earth and relatable artist. Still, watching her from the front row, I had the impression that she was secretly pretty unhappy with the way the show now already had a half-finished stage and now also malfunctioning devices.
It's kind of fun when stuff goes wrong. I kind of like it. It keeps you on your toes.
In the second song, the issue is obviously still on her mind, as she jokingly changes the lyrics of Raise Your Glass from this
Shit, my glass is empty.
to this.
Shit, my glass is broken.
As a result of the storm warning, the airborne performance for Turbulence was completely cancelled. And I really couldn't wait to see it. The guys next to us, they had been at the show just the other day, and they kept on telling me how great it was, how epic and
what a wonderful moment!
And then it never happened. Anyway, so we're right after What About Us. We have a beautiful dance break and Pink usually comes from the back to share an intense and beautiful moment with the performer. Then the rope comes down and she performs the song doing all these awesome things. Well, none of that happened at our show. Some of you wrote in the comments, why didn't she sing Turbulence anyway? She doesn't need to be in the air to sing it. And yeah, I do have the same question, since it seems to be the logical choice, right? But then again, a big show like this is incredibly complex, and to make big decisions like this on the fly is not easy. So I guess to cut it out completely was just the easier choice and more manageable at the moment, which is understandable. But a show like this is like a clockwork, and if you change one thing, it will affect another. So usually it goes like this. At the end of Turbulence, Pink walks back to the main stage and does a quick change with a dress that is coming from above. While that happens, Jason Chapman plays a surprise Pink song for her and she has to guess it.
I'm feeling kind of small. I don't want to send a hold and I'm feeling Circle game.
In our show, the quick change didn't happen because Turbulence didn't happen. So here we see the dancer leaving the stage after the dance break and Alicia coming back on stage and probably telling Jason to just come with her because he usually already sits at the piano by now. I mean, yes, she stays a little long behind that disco ball and there is maybe a second or two where I was not sure what's going on, but still, I think it is impressive how well she stitched that back together. I bet a lot of people didn't even notice.
So, a lot of you know who this is, but if you don't, this is Jason Chapman, and Jason Chapman has been with me since the very beginning.
The cut song was the reason that Pink later added me and Bobby McGee to the set list.
So we had to cut out a song because my safety team likes to make sure that I live through things. Is that boring? And apparently I wasn't going to live through it, so we had to cut out the thing. So I'm gonna add in one of my favorite songs. One of my favorite singers that ever lived, Janis Joplin. And this is me and Bobby McGee. We haven't done this in a while. Freedom's just another word for nothing left to lose. Nothing. Only nothing, honey, it ain't free. Hey, Bobby
Thinking that this was a spontaneous thing, it is an incredible performance.
I wasn't sure how that was gonna go.
And while an exclusive song is of course a good thing in itself, I have to say that another acoustic slow song added to the already acoustic part of the show dragged the concert down just a little bit.
What the hell are you talking about?
And there you have it. All of this made the show, while being very special, not my favorite Pink show. If we had a complete stage, all the songs, all the acrobatics, maybe even Willow on stage,
Tell me that the road's been spinning since the beginning, and everything
I guess this show could easily be one of the best ones I have ever seen. So, lucky you if you did see it like that. Oh right, and then she also cut Last Call, another song from the Trustful album. Now, I looked it up and it seems like she kinda cut that song out more than once. Maybe because it is new and she wanted to try it and the audience response might have been not too great. It is an okay song, I guess, but I absolutely didn't mind that it was missing. Oh, we can't talk about a Pink show without talking about the fan gifts and all the interactions between her and the audience. That is something she is known and loved for, and that is what makes every show different.
I feel like you'd be that friend that would let me go out looking crazy. You'd be like, you look great! Tattoo? Where? Where's the tattoo going? On your butt? Yes! I was like, I'll do anything for Cheetos. Oh my god, I have like a shopping bag.
I actually made a video about all the interactions and fan gifts at our show, and also about how funny she naturally is. Check them out if you like.
Okay, I'm gonna be tall and talentless in my next life. Actually, I want to come back as Carrie Hart.
So, how do I rate this? We still have acrobatics. We have show-stopping dances, hit song after hit song, flying through the audience. We have intimate moments where it really comes down to the music, the voice, guitar, and raw emotion. But then we have cancelled songs,
So we had to cut out a song.
a very long slow part, and some confusion on stage. I guess if I'd seen one of these perfect shows, it would be an easy 9 out of 10. But for this very special show in Cologne, unfortunately it is just a 6 out of 10.
If anyone needs to be cuddled later, I'm available.
Alright, that's it for the show, and we're moving on to the human factor, as in the band, the performers, and Pink herself. One great thing I noticed about Pink's performance is that it isn't set in stone, and every performance is different depending on what she feels like doing. Comparing the two Cologne concerts, I noticed that she'd be in completely different areas of the stage during Try. While she was coming from the right side one day, she came from the left side on our show, because she took the time to interact with fans, get some gifts while still performing the song flawlessly. Other shows of that scale are often choreographed to the second, so the fact that she allows herself some wiggle room proves again what a talented performer she is. Her voice, in my opinion, is one of the best in today's music industry and often underappreciated. She sang everything live, no matter if she was dancing or flying through the air. And these vocals are quite demanding. There were just a few flat notes here and there. But her vocal performance was once again pretty much perfect. The 10 dancers and performers. It doesn't matter if it's a fight/dance performance, guys on flamingo scooters or booty-shaking girls, the performance is vibrant, full of life and basically eye candy everywhere. The band was, which is not a huge surprise, awesome. We have 3 background vocalists, Niana, Danny and Stacy, as well as 5 instrumentalists. Eva on the bass, Adriana on the synthes, Jason on the piano, Brian on the drums, and of course, as always, Justin on the guitar. Everyone is giving 100%. Only the sound guys in the back could have done a better job, as we've seen in the last video. But then again, it is also a pretty hard task to make a stadium sound great. So I'll give the human factor a 9 out of 10.
Time for the final results.
So let's look back at the scores. 7 out of 10 for the setlist, a 5 out of 10 for the stage. Again, that would have been an 8 out of 10 if, well, all of the stage would have been there. The sound, being the most disappointing factor, still gets a 5 out of 10. The show reaches a 6 out of 10 and would have been a 9 out of 10 if everything would have worked. And the human factor, Pink, the band and the performers get a 9 out of 10. And that results in a final score of 32 out of 50. And taking out the extra circumstances and collecting all the extra points it would have gotten, we come out at 38 out of 50, which is not bad at all. So last but not least, let's talk about the fun and the weird and the crazy stuff that happened on tour. The first Cologne show had its own German mini-scandal when Pink was raving about famous German group Rammstein.
I hope my daughter and son buy me tickets to Rammstein one day.
Not knowing that they were facing sexual abuse allegations at the moment.
If you've never been to a Rammstein concert, you should go. It's pretty amazing. No, we don't like them?
The audience reaction visibly confused her.
They lit people on fire and then put them out. We don't like Rammstein. We don't like them? Have they been canceled? Kinda? What'd he do? What did they do? Did they not put out the fire?
And later she quickly changed her mind and said,
I watched him pour liquid fire from 20 feet in the air and I was impressed. But if we hate him, then we're all together. We don't like him anymore. Forget Rammstein. I'm with you guys. But although I've been canceled like 48 times.
The song Don't Let Me Get Me was not part of the setlist for this tour. On August 16th though, Pink did perform the song in an acoustic version. What's interesting about this is that she changed the lyrics. To be precise, she changed one word. The line, "Tired of being compared to damn Britney Spears," became In a recent interview with People magazine, she said about Britney that she feels very protective of her and that she's the sweetest person in the world. Then there was the incident on June 25th, where a fan actually threw the cremated ashes of his mother onto the stage. On August 7th, the Summer Carnival tour was in Nationals Park in Washington, and it was not only raining, but pouring down. But neither the audience nor Pink minded. They played the show and even had a lot of fun out there in the rain. Tour, Pink not only shared the stage with Brandi Carlile, which she did several times by now, she also had other surprise guests on stage. When the tour stopped in California's SoFi Stadium on October 6th, Pink celebrated the women of rock and performed Heartbreaker together with Pat Benatar and husband Neil Giraldo, who also played as an opening act for the show. Another big surprise on the same night was superstar Alanis Morissette, who joined Pink for a duet performance of You Oughta Know. So, did you also go to a Pink show that was special? Did something happen at your show that was fun or unexpected or crazy or even moving? Well, let me know down in the comments and maybe I'll make a best of video of all these incidents. That could be fun. I mean, if you have video footage. Otherwise. Anyway, that is all for today. I hope you enjoyed these first 2 Let's Talk About videos. Let me know if I left something out or got something completely wrong. Thanks for watching, like and subscribe, have a great day and see you next time.